you very much. You know, like the few before me, I'd much rather be out on the field than on this mic tonight. But first off, thank you very much to U.S. Lacrosse for everything that you guys do for the sport, and obviously this very special evening. It's truly first class. I mean, this is more than I could have ever expected, and I'm humbled and honored. Special thanks to Kim Rogers. She did so much for this, getting this organized, and I'd like to give it her. Congratulations to the other inductees. You know, we never played together or knew each other that well, but we got to meet this weekend, and we will forever be linked as the 2014 Hall of Fame class. So, congratulations. I grew up in Cold Spring Harbor. I was born on a rainy night, 1977. I'm just kidding. I grew up in Cold Spring Harbor, and there's a family right down the road that I spent a lot of time at. And special thanks to Mr. and Mrs. Spellman, who was like my second family. And we basically, had about 30 kids in the neighborhood. They had 4 boys, and we had, the Pisers, who some of you may know, are right on the corner, and we would play lacrosse in the backyard until our knuckles were bloody. And they fed us, and they had an endless supply of Dairy Barn iced tea that fueled us. But I got to thank them for always being there for me and being like second parents to me. To Kevin and Mike Spellman and to Kevin Flaherty, thank you very much for being the most loyal friends a guy could have, and always supporting me along the way in the sport of lacrosse. And to Dan and Connor Denahan, rivals on the other side when I was at Cold Spring Harbor. They were at Manhasset. They're brothers now, but back then they weren't quite the brothers. They were guys that were lighting a fire under me and getting me going, and they were always motivating. And thank you guys for that. To Coach Bond, and this is in Cold Spring Harbor High School. Thank you very much for never sugarcoating it and making us tougher. Coach Molinelli, thank you for teaching us that the most talented team doesn't always have to win. To Coach Frank, who's the head coach at Cold Spring Harbor, and a bit of a legend. Thank you for cornering me when I was in 8th grade and telling me that if I got my stuff together that I could play Division I lacrosse one day. Quick story, and long before Cold Spring Harbor won state championships, and it was a great program, and I guess had more players. We were pretty small, and I remember going in I think it was my junior or senior year, a game against Garden City, and I remember looking before the game started, looking down the bench, and there was about 40 or 50 maroon stormtroopers all the way down. And I looked down our bench, and we had about 6 dudes, and one of them had like a tie-dye T-shirt hanging out the bottom of his jersey, and the kid at the end was like 12. So we ended up losing that game by a lot, but we battled hard. Much different than my last high school game was my first college game. Obviously didn't see that video beforehand, but Jesse mentioned it. It was UVA Syracuse up in the Dome. Didn't know much. I think I was playing second midi, and it was up and down. It was crazy. It was, some of you guys may remember, 97, 22-21 game. And it was, some amazing players on the field. The gentleman right here, Hall of Famer Michael Watson, was a senior leader. He put us on his back and probably had about 10 points. A guy you guys might know, Casey Powell, probably had 100 points. But I remember being in that game, just, flying up and down the field. I was getting short sticks, no one sliding. I'm shooting. I had a couple goals. I didn't have 9 goals. I had a few, but I just remember, we ended up losing the game. I remember afterward, we'd be like, oh, I'm going to dominate, man. This is amazing. Reality check. Next game against Princeton, I think we score about 4 total goals. Had about maybe 2 midi runs and no shots on goal. So it was a bit of reality check. But college, the 4 years there were absolutely amazing. I got to play with some amazing players. More importantly, amazing guys, brothers. You've heard so far people talk about it, people you'll know and be friends with your entire life. And, especially my class of 2000 came in, we're all extremely close. And I just want to thank all my teammates from the years at Virginia for, making me a better player and making me a better person. The coaches at Virginia. Coach Colbeck was our assistant coach. Thank you, Coach, for putting me in my place when I needed it. Thank you for teaching me that discipline is a form of toughness. To Coach Starja, where do I begin? Truly an amazing coach and more importantly, an amazing person. Thank you for believing in me and getting the best out of me. And I think Virginia gets a lot of credit. Virginia, we've been successful, and people always give credit to the talent of players we get, and the credit goes to him for getting the best out of all of his players. So thank you very much, Coach, for always being there. Yeah. What I cherish most about my 4 years at Virginia is that I came in somewhat of a punk kid with some talent, and maybe like to shoot a little too much and overuse the swim dodge. But I left a captain and a leader, and I'm most proud of that part. And I really owe that to Coach and all my teammates. So, thanks, guys. To the Philadelphia Wings organization. Was able to play there a year out of college. Thanks to Jimmy Rogers, who's our GM. He brought me in there, and Coach Retch. Thank you guys for actually suiting me up. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing out there, but I somehow made the roster some of the games and suited up, and couldn't shoot, couldn't score, couldn't play defense, but tried to go out there and maybe fire it up a little bit and stir some things up. And I was lucky to be on a team that we were pretty good. And thank you guys, all the teammates. I got to play with a guy named Tom Marichek, who was absolutely amazing, and a guy over here named Mark Millen was on that team, and two guys over here, Dave Stilley and Jamie Hanford. That was a lot of fun. That was a great year. Thanks to the Colorado Mammoth organization, I played there in some indoor. Steve Govett for bringing me in and kind of getting me going and telling me that he thinks I could play indoor. Gary Gate was an amazing teammate. You guys might have heard of him. He was also the coach the year we won for Colorado, and on the women's side, I think people know how great of a coach he is. But he coached a year or two in indoor, and he was amazing. My style of coach: roll the balls out there, let them play, give them confidence, let them run. And to all my teammates on those teams, again, I didn't know really what I was doing out there. It's a different game, but all the Canadian guys were very helpful and showed me the ropes. Two specific guys on that team I want to thank. They're here tonight. Dave Stilley, I just mentioned him before. Dave is a great friend, and I call him he's a foxhole guy. He's the guy you want in your foxhole when you're taking grenades, which has happened to me now. So. And another guy, Jamie Hanford, nicknamed Man Cub. Jamie's one of my best friends, an amazing teammate. There's a reason he was given a great award, by the Mammoth. He's also, one of the oddest roommates a man could have. So some of you guys may know. Just trying to figure out how to say that, but thank you to Major League Lacrosse. I was lucky enough, right when I came out, they started it, and honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to play after college. I never really thought about that much, but it happened, and we played, and it's great. It's a great product. I'm probably the first of or an early part of a lot of people coming behind me that have made their name in Major League Lacrosse. I think it's a great product. It's a great game, and I truly hope it's going to be around for years to come. I played my first couple years of the New Jersey Pride with my presenter, Jesse Hubbard. Jesse, thank you very much for kind of taking me under your wing. Only a couple years above me, but much of a mentor than he probably thinks. We had a good couple of summers. We traveled around and did camps and did the professional lacrosse thing for a couple summers. Went to Manchester, England for a couple of summers. That was a lot of fun. So thank you, Jesse. To the Long Island Lizards, a team I played for many years. thank you to all the teammates, the organization, specifically Coach DiTomaso, fantastic coach. It's he's a Hall of Famer himself. It's tough to not get motivated by a guy like that. But he was fantastic. That 2003 team sticks out to me. We probably had a Hall of Famer at every position, or future Hall of Famer, and I was honored to be on the field with a lot of those guys, and it was a great year, a lot of fun. One of those guys was John Gagliardi, and we would was a friend and became my partner at Maverick Lacrosse, and he kind of got the company going, and I thank him for bringing me aboard, one, and two, we kind of got things going on the bus for those Lizards games in 2003. We would scheme in the back of what we were going to do with Maverick and starting a lacrosse manufacturer. Thank you to US Lacrosse and Team USA, to all my teammates in 2006, to Coach Desko. It was an absolutely fabulous summer. It wasn't our best game in the end. We lost to potentially a better Canadian team, but I truly hold that as a great experience. It was an amazing summer. We had a great locker room, a great bunch of guys, and I'd like to thank every single one of them. Moving on to my family, to my wife Michaela. We met after I stopped playing lacrosse, which is probably a good thing. But just think, babe, if I didn't get dinged so many times in the hay, we would have never met. So I thank God that happened, because I was able to meet you. And you're an amazing person, amazing wife, and amazing mother. We have a 2-year-old daughter, Claire, not able to make it tonight. And we have a 1-month-old, Jay Jalbert. He's Joseph Jay Jalbert the fifth. So you should clap for that. And obviously all the parents in the room, I don't need to talk about how great that is, because they all know it's the best. To my sister Jolie, my best friend, thank you for showing me how to dream big. You can clap. To my brother Steve, my hero, thanks for paving the way, showing me what it takes to be good. Steve started playing lacrosse in 9th grade and was All-American, went to UVA, was a captain. Ole. Potentially Ole, exactly, yeah, potentially the most competitive guy I know, besides me. But thank you, brother, I appreciate it. Thank you. To my mom and dad, where do I begin? Thank you for driving, taking us to all the games. I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that can sympathize with this, going to, camps and games and practices and clinics and, Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock at Nassau Coliseum in February, indoors. Thank you for going to literally every game I played in, from high school to college to the pros. Mom, trust me, I'm not upset you weren't able to make that game in Edmonton in February, indoor. But more importantly, thank you guys for showing us what work looks like. And if you want something, you got to go out there and get it. Finally, I think what this is, a lot of this is supposed to be thank yous, which I've kind of taken care of, as you guys can tell. But it's supposed to be about what the sport means to you. The sport means to me is community, teammates, and friends. You've heard me talk about a lot of them. There's many I missed. I'd like to thank them all now. I can honestly say I played on a lot of teams, and all of them mean a lot to me. And all of them, had a hand in me being up here. So thank them very much. And thank you all.